Good afternoon and welcome to BizTech's Asian Midday Market Watch. Tina Teng, who was supposed to be on air today, has some technical difficulties and is unable to make it today. So let's start by first taking a look at how shares in Asia have been performing. Shares in the Asia Pacific are mostly trading lower today as investors digest the results of a private survey on China's factory activity. Now in Australia, the S&P ASX 200 briefly fell more than 2% and was last 1.67% lower, while the Australian dollar weakened to 0.6803. Now, Japan's Nikkei 225 slipped 1.75%, and the Topix index dropped 1.39%. Hong Kong's Hang Seng index was 1.52% lower, and the Hang Seng Tech index slipped 1.15%. The Kospi in South Korea shed 1.83%, and the Kosdaq lost 1.49%. Now, in mainland China, the Shanghai Composite was up 0.24% after opening lower, while the Shenzhen Composite was also up 0.171%. The MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside of Japan dipped 1.63%. China's Caixin Market Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index for August, released this morning, showed the sector slipping into contraction this month. Now, this comes after official manufacturing PMI data released yesterday showed that factory activity shrank amid a recent rise in COVID infections and the fact that the nation is facing the worst heat waves in decades. Now, overnight in the US, major stock indexes rose early in the session but closed lower for the fourth straight day. Now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average shed 280.44 points, or nearly 0.9%, to 31,510.43. The S&P 500 slipped roughly 0.8% to end the day at 3,955, and the Nasdaq Composite declined about 0.6% to 11,816.20. Now, looking at Australia. Now, Australian mining stocks were lower in Asia's morning trade, weighing down the broader index. Fortescue Metals Group slipped 3.28%, while Rio Tinto shares were down 1.08%. BHP plunged as much as 7.9% as the company traded ex-dividend this morning. Gold miners also plunged, with Evolution Mining falling 7.74% and Newcrest Mining declining 3.78%. Gold prices have softened as rising interest rates dampen demand for the non-yielding precious metal. Now, looking at the Treasury yields right now, US Treasury yields rose further to 3.52% in Asia's morning trade, the highest since November 2007. The yield on the short-term 2-year Treasury note reached similar levels on Tuesday when it hit 3.497. The yield on the benchmark 10-year Treasury note also rose 3.22%, while the yield on the 30-year Treasury bond was 3.3%. Now, Japanese yen weakened sharply against the US dollar in early Asian trading, reaching as high as 139.58, and it inches towards the 140 yen level. The currency last tested these levels in 1998, according to econ data. Now, FOMC Chair Powell and BOJ Governor Kuroda's reinforcement of their respective policy stances last Friday gave the US dollar, Japanese yen, another push towards the closely watched 140 yen level. Now, that's according to Carol Corm of the Commonwealth Bank of Australia in her Thursday note. For the US dollar, Japanese yen to reach new high, we would likely need to see a sharp sell-off in the US dollar treasuries or a significant deterioration in Japan's current account, she added. The yen was last traded at 139.54 against the dollar. And that's it for BizTech's Asian Midday Market Watch. I'm Brian Fernandez. This video and podcast will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as our syndication partners, TV stations, radio stations, and websites. Please like and subscribe to our various platforms. Thank you very much for tuning in.